Hey everyone, so part of Radiant Recovery is recovering our gut, right? So please like, subscribe to my channel if you find these tools helpful. So most of us are on a budget, right? So we start with green cabbage. Organic is vitally important, and I will explain why organics are important in a later video. We start with a nice organic green cabbage, and we're going to go from here. So why make homemade sauerkraut? Well, one, it's fermented, which is really great for the gut. There's tons of research on fermentation and how it helps to promote good, healthy gut bacteria. Also affects your mental health, right? I had spoken before about how the gut and the microbes really communicate with the brain and how it can lighten your mood. It improves your digestion, keeps you regular, you know, all that good stuff. So weight management, I mean, it's full of vitamin C, vitamin Ks, all different types of minerals. There's really no reason why. And a cabbage like this cost me about $4. And you'll see that it will yield about 2 quarts of sauerkraut, which used, you know, in probably about a half a cup type ratio to a cup. I mean, I could eat a lot more of this, but rationing it out like that's your daily probiotics, getting everything that you need. And yeah, so let's make it super cheap, super healthy, really necessary for your mental health, and another way you can kickstart into your healthy road to recovery. So here on the cabbage, this is really important. You're going to take these top layer leaves off and put them to the side. Don't compost them. Just put them to the side for now. Again, another leaf. I go down probably this one, like I read the cabbage, right? So probably if you've never read a cabbage before, till it gets really tight with the leaves. So I'm probably going about 3 leaves deep. And again, just try to keep them whole if you can, and discard by the side. So this looks pretty good here. I'm going to give it a quick rinse. I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to start chopping, right? So I go to where the stem of the cabbage was. I go to the opposite side and I just start slicing it down. Slicing it down. Slicing it down. You'll need a large bowl, by the way. This is a good mixing bowl. And then just throw the top that you're chopping off into it. You're going to have to, probably about 3/4 of the way down, flip this flat part over so that you can see where the stem is right here. You want to kind of cut around it. Which is nice, because then you end up with smaller pieces from the sides. So I'm just going to chop like so. Throwing those in. I didn't say this before, make sure you wash your hands. I'm the daughter of a chef, so, and lifelong growing up in restaurants, so you always want to wash your hands and keep a sanitary surface. And so the next thing you're going to need is Himalayan pink salt. I like to use Himalayan because of the minerals that are in salt. I will do an additional video on the importance of salt, be it counterintuitive to what we think, but we need it. So I use Himalayan pink sea salt. I wanted you to see this container. And then I have a repurposed Grateful Dead nug jar, because I love the Dead and I love this jar, so why not fill it with Himalayan salt? And then I do a generous amount. So a generous amount of this is probably about 2.5 to 3 teaspoons full. Throw the cap back on the Grateful Dead Himalayan salt nug jar, and then I go in for it. So this is the fun part, right? If you have kids, also good to give this to your kids, but if you have kids, you're just going to do this. You're going to crush it. So you're really breaking up these pieces of cabbage, putting some arm muscles into it, get a little bit of bicep exercise, get your forearms, and just start crushing the the cabbage, sorry. And we're gonna continue to do this. So it's broken up, so it starts to get translucent. So you'll start to see kind of the breaking up, you know, it looks a lot less opaque and it starts to look translucent, and you'll start to see really the water start to seep out of the cabbage. So if I had to time it, probably takes about 7 minutes. Okay, so here we're stuffing the jars. So you really want to get it in here and stuff it, right? So it's like you're fermenting this. You're stuffing it in there, okay? So get it in there. Get it nice and crunchy and in there. There you go, just like that. And then you're going to do your second one, okay? Again, getting all this in here, really stuffing it. You don't want to waste any, right? It's like you work this hard to get it all shredded and perfect. And I just put the remaining liquid into the jar. So here we go. And this is a little trick I'm going to teach you that they don't, you know, always say you have to do this, but with lots of experimenting of it not always fermenting the right way or letting air get into it, that's kind of where the problem goes, and where you will very clearly notice like a tingy taste after a week, and that is no good. So what it should taste like is sauerkraut. So I put the large cabbage leaves, as I said I was going to do before, and I stuffed the large cabbage leaves into the top. This isn't quite going to work out the right ratio that I wanted it to. You really want to stuff this. So this is actually a good demonstration. You don't want it smaller in there. You want to stuff it. Okay, we're going to take our water and fill it to the top. Realize it takes a little bit longer to seep down, so you really want to make sure it's saturated. And you're going to take your cabbage leaf, the large ones you discarded from before, and you're going to fold it. And you're going to smush it down onto the top. And then we do one extra step. So I take the plastic baggie, open it, fill it with a very little amount of water. This is enough to create pressure on the top of it. Pressure from the seal of the cap, so that it's really like all of the juices are in there and they're fermenting it. I take another pinch of my salt, because you want it to be salt water that goes in through the top. And then I squeeze out the extra air. So this is the extra step. You have the cabbage leaf creating pressure in here, but now you also have this plastic bag with water. So if for some reason it sucks up more of the water during the fermentation process, this will allow for it to be sealed. And I'm making a mess, because that's okay. Put your finger on the top, make sure that it's sealed all the way around, check, say, oh, okay, there's no plastic bag getting caught in with the seal there. And then screw the cap on just like that. And then store it on a shelf somewhere where it's not going to get sunlight. Leave it for a week, and then we'll check back in. I'll show another video showing the end result, but then you open it, remove the plastic bag, remove the old cabbage leaf, fill with remaining water through the top, and I kind of fluff it around with a fork, stick it in the fridge, and you have your homemade sauerkraut healing probiotic for what, $4 and whatever the cost of the jars are, so around $5 or $6. Something that if you bought probiotics, a 30-day supply in the store can range you anywhere from $15 to upwards of $40. and you got this for less than 10 bucks. And yeah, I'm excited for you to see the health benefits of it. So this is what I did with the remainder that didn't equal this. Because the importance is, right, you want to create it full, you want to stuff it, right? We're fermenting these foods. So I went ahead and I just put it in I put it in a pint, right? And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my big cabbage leaf. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to put it in the top. I'm going to take a little small bag and I'm going to fill this with water. And I'm going to take a pinch of salt and put it in here. I'm going to let the air out, right? I'm going to twist. I'm going to put it in there. So this one's a little bit tighter because of the fact that it's a smaller mouth. It's not a wide mouth jar, but I'm not worried about a little water spilling all over me. I'm going to, again, create that seal. Right. Seals all the way. Good seal. And put this jar in here, and there we go. Voila. So, there you have it.